Chanel.
Oh, Vivi, we are here. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years.
I know.
Season 2, baby.
Hey now.
So excited.
So excited.
We have 2 special guests that are going to be with us for the rest of the season.
Can we take in all this lusciousness
Yes.
right now?
I know your husband is like, you're glowing. I'm like,
You
okay.
are.
I guess
You
I'm
got the
jolly.
preggy glow.
Got the jolliness.
Great
yes.
laugh. You are gorgeous.
Oh, thanks. I'm just,
And you're wearing it so well.
leaning in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exciting.
I know.
Yeah.
I just want to like.
You can touch it all day. I know. I don't have that experience of people coming up to me and touching me because of COVID.
I think people are. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
yes.
But I kind of like, you want to touch it? Now people aren't doing it. So
You're
I'm
not
like...
going to want it. Like, have random people just be like, and you're like, I don't know you.
Right.
No.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we're back. Yay. How are you doing, girl?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just excited to be doing it again. I had so much fun the first time.
Yeah. And I can't wait to go with question and answers. We have so many people that are asking us so many questions. So thank you guys.
You guys are hilarious. Some of those
out.
responses.
The emails too. Oh, we've seen some emails with some things. So thank you for that. We've learned a lot from your emails.
Much. That was just the best.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. We'll talk about that more this season.
Yes,
but yeah, so I thought we would just start off right on we came up with a bunch of different ideas. And what do you want to start with today?
Well, one of the things I thought was really good in the basket of things was broken records.
Yeah.
Because, during COVID and quarantine and the lockdown and everything, I think a lot of people were at home and all of a sudden had to deal with just themselves. There was no distraction of plans and going out and all the driving. And so you just were in your place dealing. And so, I think for me, there were a lot of you realize behaviorally there's broken records that pop up and you're like, oh my God, is that me? Or is that my mom? Or is that my dad? Or where's that? What is that from?
Tell everybody what a broken record is to you.
Okay. Yeah. A broken record to me is like something that you always tell yourself, like you associate yourself with an example, for my mom, of course my brain is brain farting right now, but it's where you're like, oh, Vanessa, it's just a behavioral thing. It's like something that you did or you do, or this is how I present myself. You know what I mean? All the time. Like, oh, hey, Vanessa's always going to be, outgoing, or she talks too much, or, you know what I mean?
Mine is you're strong. You can do it yourself. So I don't ask people for help.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. And now being pregnant, it's so hard for me to let people help me, especially. And they're like, this is for your children. If you're not going to do it for you, it's for your children. So I've had to sit with that.
Strong.
Right.
You are strong.
But asking for help is strength as well.
But you're not strong like you're strong in the way that you don't need help from other people.
Don't ask for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you got this.
And you can't be soft.
Right.
You can't be vulnerable.
Right.
You can't be like that. And it's strange because that's not necessarily your broken record. That could have come from your dad, honestly, or your mom and their generational things and stuff like that. And so weird things like that came up, and so that's kind of what broken record is. Yeah.
And and mine too as well is like, I used to have this saying in my head where it's like, I don't trust myself with food. Right. So a lot of times buying things, keeping in the cabinet, I couldn't. However, I can. Why is that in my head? I have willpower. I've learned, I'm changing. I'm different. It's not like I see food and I can't control myself.
Oh yes. That's a good
you know what
one
I mean?
For you.
Yeah. And so I see the food. I'm like, I could have a little bit of that now, especially in being pregnant. And it's like, why am I saying to myself, I don't trust myself anymore?
Well, because 9-year-old Shanna is not pregnant Shanna now, at grown and all these type of things. You know what I mean? That's not you. That's a broken record.
That is a broken record.
Purely. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think exactly what you touched on is us sitting with ourselves. It's like I have so many online clients that are getting divorced. I want to hear from you guys. Tell us,
Please.
like in the chat, like what have you been sitting with? You know,
Mm-hmm.
people getting divorced, people just realizing that they don't want to do, they get to the top of the mountain in their success in life and they go, I don't even want to be on this mountain anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not even happy on this mountain. I don't want to go
Yeah.
back to work and do this, you
Yeah.
know, no matter how much money they have or what's going on. So
Yeah.
I think, I don't know about you, but it's really brought people back to basics of having to calm that hustle and sit with themselves.
Good that you said that. I just sparked it. So I realized one of the broken records for me was work wise. Like you always have to, and what work actually meant and like how it applied. You know, it's always have like for many people in general, it's like you gotta have a 9 to 5. Whereas now during this quarantine and COVID, it's kind of upended that whole idea because you have to work from home. Or you were furloughed or lost a job or something, and now you're trying to be resourceful and figure out how else to do work and what that means, and what that how that informs your happiness and your lifestyle and all that kind of thing. And so, I think there's a lot of broken records with that. Those images in your mind of what successful is, or how your day should be, or what you should be doing.
Yes.
And then updating those ideas for who you are now instead of like who you were when you were like 20 or 30 or, you know,
9. When I'm
10.
telling
Yeah.
myself I don't trust myself with food. I don't trust a lot of 9-year-olds with food, but you know, now I have the right. But you know, what's funny, going back to what you were saying, I don't know who out there, who else, or if you can relate to this.
Yeah.
But I think that's indoctrinated in me too. It's like when I see somebody like relaxing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh yes,
I feel like it's laziness. And like my husband has
You should
caught
be
me
doing
on
something.
it. My husband's caught me on it. He's like, every time I try to sit down, and he's had a long day of work. He's not a slacker. He's doing amazing things.
Yes.
But then I see him relaxing and I just think, okay, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? And I'm like, why can't I flip and let him relax? What is that? I think it's the voice in my head saying I can't relax. And then I'm projecting it on him when I should just sit my ass down for 15 minutes. And then I could do better work if I just relax for 15
True,
minutes.
because you do need to recoup.
You
However,
do.
it's like hearing you say that, I got an image of like your mom probably going like, Shanna, what are you doing? What's your homework?
It's my dad.
No.
My mom always would let us rest.
Oh, cool.
But my dad would be like, okay, now what? Now what are we doing? Now what? Like, what are you doing for me? What? I love him, but it's like,
See that.
oh my God.
Do some push-ups.
Yeah, do something. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me be,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So,
true.
yeah, it's interesting.
It is because, and like, you know, the baby now is 1.
I know. Happy birthday.
He's so good.
So
He makes me
good.
so happy.
He's everything. He's
he
getting me
is.
excited. Yeah.
But it's funny watching him, like, you know, we have to learn how to independently play, like let him be over there so that I could cook or do stuff. And you're going to learn, you'll find it.
Lord.
But in that, you know, I realize in watching him, there's certain moments where like he'll get frustrated
Oh, yes.
or he gets bored. Babies get bored. Okay. And then they'll go through toys like this or the, you know, and you fight the thing to just be their entertainer. Like, because at a certain point you're like, okay, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Trust me. And then after that you go, okay, I can't sustain that. And they have to be bored. That's how they learn self-independence and play and figure out the things that they need to do to be functional. You know what I mean?
You just literally nailed this on the head of being bored. I feel like no kids anymore know how to be bored because they're always on devices or doing something. And it's like this ADD nation. It's like, that's where the creativity stems from.
Like, entertain me.
Yes. And then
Go.
going back to broken records, I think with COVID, we've been quote unquote bored.
Wow.
Come on. We still have tons of stuff in our houses and homes. And like,
yeah.
how bored can you be?
Yeah.
However, I think people like to avoid because they don't have to sit with themselves and listen to those broken records. I think you hit the nail on the head about letting Apollo being like that. And then you watch him be bored. And then, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's what I took from.
It's weird. I was an only child, or I am an only child, not was. So I know how to be alone. I know how to entertain myself. In fact, I do need alone time, you know, to just for sensory purposes and stuff. I heard, and I'm going to say it badly and not say it perfectly, but Denzel Washington just did an interview where he goes, yeah, I'm an introvert. But people say, no, you're Denzel. And he's like, no. I can be an extrovert. But in order for me to be 100% in that extroverted place and give the Denzel that everyone's seeing, I need my inside time. I need my me time and things. And I'm
So
like,
healthy.
100%.
I love Denzel.
And but that makes a lot of sense. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. And they're coming to that understanding in this time of COVID and everything having to slow down and kind of reposition itself.
Yeah, reset it. So I was doing some research, and then I want to kind of get on track with it. So with a person right out there, and you and me, I was thinking about what I do with the broken records in my head, because it's exhausting if you live in your mind all day, which we do, and if you're not positive thinking, then that really can make and break you. Like I've seen really successful people that just can't get out of their own way, and then they ultimately lose their success, whatever you want to define success as. Right. But they're just not happy people. So and we'll talk about happy later. You and I have talked about that a lot, like what the meaning of happy is. But I thought this was interesting. So when you have that broken record in your head of sorts, track when your thoughts are negative and self-examine if they're even yours to begin with.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Because things in my head, I'm like, what? Excuse me. Like I hear my mother's voice in my head for
that
little
broken
things.
Record.
Yeah. Like it's little things though. Like if I spill something, it sounds stupid, but if I spill something, I literally hear her say, you better wet that paper towel, put some spray on the floor and clean it. Or if I open up cheese and cut it, she's like, you better put that in a Ziploc bag and put that in the fridge. You know, you can't waste that. It gets hard. So like I hear those words, and that's not negative, but with the broken records of sorts, when it comes to, I can't trust myself with food and all, I'm like, that was my 9-year-old self. That's not me now. I can trust myself, because if I'm saying I don't trust myself with food,
and it's also your mom in your head going like, you better,
or a parent. Yeah. Just like, So
for me, it's my mom and her tone.
Girl tone.
It's my name in various tones. And
Interesting.
Especially with the baby now, it's all like, Vanessa, like you're fucking up.
Oh, the tones. I've had to work on my tonal. Oh, it says everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's that. I liked this tip. Give your inner critic or that broken record or that voice in your head that you feel like it's not yours and you want to disassociate it with. Do a Beyonce and give it a name. Give it like an alter ego.
Sure.
So you can kind of disassociate with it. Like, and just say,
that's really good.
Okay, Clarice. Okay, Ramona. Ramona, shut up. Like, my 9-year-old.
Okay, Mimi, stop it.
Yeah. Mimi's my 9-year-old self. Yeah, Mimi, I can trust it. It's okay. I won't have the whole bag of chips, but, I am strong right now, Mimi. Yeah. However, I'm going to let him pick up the groceries, or I'm going to let somebody help me because I'm asking for help, and that is strength.
I know. Bad girl over here. I was like, you're pregnant. You do not lift a damn thing.
It's hard. And that's another topic, but it's been hard, but you're right. Yeah. I got to look out for the bigger picture. Yeah. But it's hard when I'm just like, I got this. I got it. However, I've connected with people more because I've allowed people to help me. Yes. Because when people offer, you have to really think that they are offering because they want to help. Yes. I never think that.
Not the defensive response of like, no, I got it.
Right.
Yeah. Which is also a broken kind of record, which is a behavioral record.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Fully. I get that.
So the name, I think that would be interesting. That's really give your inner critic a name. That's really try good. That. I'm going to start trying that. And then when the negative talk starts happening, this is a good one. Like, are you jumping to negative conclusions and then saying, am I negative right now? And if I was positive, what would I be thinking? Kind of thing. Right. Like, how would I perceive the situation if I made it like really positive? You ever see This Is Us? the show?
Of course. Yes.
You know, when Randall and his wife come and they go, what's the worst thing that could happen? When they look at a scenario and they go, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the best case scenario?
Right.
I think that's important when you're.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
When you're talking.
Like, and that actually, one of the things that I've started to do is, you know, because you have those inner voices and, you know, we've talked about this in the first season about self-talk, and you can talk to your inner children and your inner voices. Like you said, name them. I love that. I'm going to name them.
Me too.
I'm bad at naming, but I'll figure out names. That's
what you're telling yourself. See, you were just negative about yourself.
There you go.
You're not bad at it. See that?
So, and then, but one thing I have started to do is, you know, I have a bad habit or a bad record of looking for what's wrong, what's to fix. Always like, you know, what needs fixing, what needs to get that whole thing. And I've started to say, hey, what's working?
Boom.
Look at what's working, you know, and that was a big thing throughout, you know, the whole quarantine and everything, because so many things felt like, you know, bad, what with all the current events and world news and crap like that you were like
and a newborn.
But so many beautiful things were happening personally, you know, what with the baby and being able to spend time with him and just each other and all that. So it was like, what's working? And when you look at what's working and you look at the good that's, you know, you make the positive, mindful, purposeful choice to do that, you're like, oh, it's okay. Everything's okay. And so now those not that habit of always looking for what's wrong. Now you can pay attention to what is happening, so you can do the other stuff. And that's just adding to helping that. That's just stuff you have to do. You just haven't gotten to that part yet, but you will. And then that will also start working.
Why do you think people look for what's wrong?
I think that's something that we're trained with when we're kids. You know, your parents come in and they go, clean your room. Or you know, it's like, look at you. Are you going to wear that? Like, you look like a man. You know, like all those different. I think if that becomes a lot and that's the only thing your parents say or whatever, I don't know, then that can translate sometimes, especially in little kids' minds and just things, to always having to do something and always looking for what's wrong. I'm guessing here. I'm not a pro at this, but like I would think that was something. And so therefore it translates to that. And then when you get into work, you know, and actually working, it's about what do I do next at work? What do I have to do? And you have your to-do list of to do. And I know there's a whole movement in the workplace and just in life now. And, you know, you could see all the mental health billboards all over the place and the radio now too, commercials. But it's a matter of like, what is working? How do we understand? How do we support this thing? So I think the language and vocabulary around a lot of that stuff is changing now so that it's helping kind of like a worldwide perspective. But I think it's breaking those deals. Yeah. Which is cool.
Yeah. COVID's been really hard for me. However, it's been blessed. It's blessed me a lot. And I feel guilty saying that. You know what I mean? However, I've set myself up as a person. I could always do more, but like I save money. You know, not saying to anybody else, but I've set myself where I can look at myself and go, wow, I can look at some good things that I've done as a human that I can control during this time. Yeah, I got pregnant. But then I feel guilty because, and also we'll talk about it probably another time, but lost my mother-in-law and stuff like that. So I feel guilty for saying that there are some good moments, but.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. Guilt's taken a whole new meaning now, especially with the baby and stuff. And there's all the
you got the mommy guilt.
There. You get
oh boy.
Well, it's natural to feel that, but it's. I always have an aunt, and she's one of my favorite aunts, and she always goes in her Filipino accent. She goes, "Oh, guilt, darling. There's no reason for guilt. It's just a wasted emotion." And I'm like,
it's so true.
It is.
I love her, but it's real.
It's hard. It's easier.
No kidding.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah,
but. Guilt is that at its very simplified, simple place. You know, it's way more complicated than that, I know. But Yeah,
But
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always packing my bags. I'm always going on guilt trips. Always. People just love to try to guilt trip. I'm like, pack that bag. Okay. I'm going.
But it's a thing that, you just guilt. It's like, don't go to the guilt. Go to the like, no, you shouldn't feel bad for having what you have.
Right.
Be grateful. Oh, and that was the other thing that I was going to say. Look at the stuff that is working. But then also one thing that I started doing was doing gratitude lists.
I love that.
Because I love lists. And so instead of doing the to-do, like in that negative, like, this got to get done, this got to get done, which is natural. You're going to do that anyway. I'm not saying not to. It just make it positive.
Yeah.
And so gratitude lists. And there was, when you start making those lists, at least a minimum 10 a day.
10 a day. Different ones or the same ones or?
You could do the same, but try to make it as different as possible. And it can be down to the minuscule, like, I love those napkins I saw yesterday. I mean, basic things, small. And you realize how lucky and it just isn't kind of unconscious, subconscious what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And there's so much to be grateful for.
Yeah. It's like a good meditation in the morning. Also, think about if it's going to affect you in 5 years. Right? Of how bad things are, the broken records in your head, like, I'm no good, I lost my job. But, in 5 years, maybe you get an even better job or something great happens. And then, you know what I mean? Where it's like, will this matter in 5 years? Is it really that bad?
Yeah.
So many people sweat small stuff. And I'm like, and some people's currency is bitching about their lives and complaining.
Super true.
I don't have time for that because then I become really negative, and that's where boundaries that we've talked about.
It takes a lot of energy.
It's so much energy.
It takes a lot of effort and energy.
Yeah.
I just don't have time for it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Plus I don't like feeling bad. Like, one thing when I was pregnant was, and everybody was around me was very supportive. My husband was the best. It was like happy things. I watched the dodo all the time because it was saving animals and all that kind of stuff. Or I love watching Graham Norton because it's funny.
So funny.
He's silly and I laugh a lot. You have the best laugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so, like you said, jolly. And you just, you got to do that. You got to, and we're saying all the positive things, obviously.
Easier said than done. But
yeah.
Yeah. And then positive trait list, like you said, that's exactly what you said. Like, be vain. And I'm sick of people not being vain about themselves. Like, they should be a little vain when it comes to making lists. You don't have to, there's confidence and cocky.
Yes.
And there's a thin line between it.
Yes.
But talk good about yourself. I feel like people don't speak. They try to bring it down to who they're hanging out with because they feel as though, I'm doing so good in life or something good's happening and that person's going through so much sadness. But you can balance it and still feel good and not bring yourself down.
Yeah, but
to
I'll be
every
honest,
occasion.
the self-critic in the mirror, I mean, I could never take a good photo in my mind.
Okay, that's your broken record too. Yeah, that's what you were just talking about, your passport photo. I understand that, but
yes.
But yeah, you take beautiful photos, and shame on you because you look at some photos back in the day. You've never looked at photos back in the day, and you're like, oh, I look really good.
Well, yeah, I think everybody does do that. But
come on,
at the same time, many, like I would say 95% of my photos, I'm like, there's a thing, or like, why did I?
I've got a lot of pretty ones of you, guys.
Likewise, but there's always something you could say.
Yeah, of course, I know.
Yeah, that's a bad habit.
Yeah, broken records. Get that out of your head. And then this is where I always go to is be goal oriented with moving forward. With like having that broken record in your head, right? Thinking, is that my voice or is it someone else's voice coming in and telling me what's up, right? And then you put an alter ego and saying, no, Mimi, no, Mom, get out of there. Like, let's try to switch it up. And how can I be positive, right? About what I'm hearing in my own head, and then goal oriented.
Yeah.
Meaning,
I like that.
Meaning, what can I do moving forward to think that things can get better, or I can trust myself with food. Now I just grab some food that I really didn't trust myself with, and I'll put it in the cabinet to show myself that I can trust it. What am I, a gremlin at midnight? No, I'm not. I'm not, it's like for so long I had so much fear behind it where I was like,
Yeah.
you can't do that, Shauna. You can't trust yourself with that. You
The
can't.
crazy thing, Shanna, is that like
It's
those
not me.
those demons or whatever that made the behavior behind you stuffing it wasn't the food, it was whatever's around it. You've done that. You've done the therapy. You've done the work. So it's not there anymore. If that bag of Oreos was in the cupboard, you'd have one.
Right.
You wouldn't have the bag.
Yeah. And
So
I
that's
challenged
your
myself.
broken record. Like you have to change that image. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did it. I was goal oriented. I put the food in the cabinet and I was like, look, it's still there. Then it wasn't there, but that was my husband, not me.
I mean,
he
yes.
went after it. That's his own thing. I'm not, not here to change him, but
Yeah.
but that helped my record in my head. But yeah. So I think just like, I thought this was an interesting topic because it's
100%.
just, it doesn't have to be deeper than this. It's
No.
just,
And
what
it's
it
very
is.
relative, like it's just on a daily, all the time, just part of what you do. So it's just good to be aware. If you can find a way to bring that awareness and the stuff you're doing, you can really kind of help your day along.
Yeah. And be careful about the way you talk about yourself because you're
Yes.
listening. It's so important.
That's a really nice, yes.
You listen to
absolutely.
yourself and you live in your head. And it's like, I know people that are so tired all the time. I'm like, you could be doing construction for 14 hours a day and you wouldn't be as tired as all the negative talk that you're listening to in your brain. And it crushes your soul and it makes you exhausted. And it's more labor intensive than actually doing
Super
construction.
true. Like if you keep telling yourself
Physical.
you're tired.
Yeah, or just saying negative things all the time, beating
Yeah.
yourself up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's draining.
Yeah.
And then just think about it. Is it yours to start with? If not, let it go.
Yeah.
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 So
On point. Very
okay,
good.
that's good. All right, well then I'll just apply it moving
Love
forward.
you.
Love you. Okay, season 2, baby.
Season 2.
Okay, I'm gonna get bigger and
There
bigger.
I go.
Next week it's gonna be like, hi everybody.
Oh my God. Wait till your boobs just explode.
We'll talk about booby mommy and all that. So let us know what you guys think. Comment below. What's your broken record? Negative self-talk. What do you guys do? And then
Yes.
we can bring it back because I know I'm missing out on a lot of stuff in
Help us.
my head. Help us. Do you have
Yeah.
any tips that you do? Yeah, I would love it. I love how much people are just feeding us with their thoughts. So yay. Raw talk.
Love you.